Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another Atlus video. This one is going to please a lot of people out there. It is certainly something that is exciting to me to talk about, and it's our first official video where we're going to talk about Nintendo Switch 2. Now that it's official, now that the platform was revealed, of course, rumors started. They actually started a few days beforehand. Well, obviously we've been talking about Switch 2 rumors for months already, but when it comes to this specific rumor that has decent backing for sure, and most importantly, even when you go over what the rumor says for multiple reasons, metaphor, ReFantazio being ported to Nintendo Switch 2 makes a ton of sense for multiple reasons, and now we have a reliable leaker backing up all these reasons, which means that, hey, I expect it at this point. If you have not seen the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal trailer, it looks cool. I mean, they didn't show much, but I am certainly interested, and at the end of this Nintendo Switch 2 presentation or reveal trailer, there was an announcement for a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. That is going to be happening April 2nd, 2025. We're going to stream that on the channel. Of course, there's no way in hell I'm missing this. I mean, there's so many chances of Atlus showing up with different things, with anything. I mean, anything for sure. We'll talk more about that in the future, but I certainly think that Atlus is going to show up at this event 1000%. And I think the main thing that we should expect from this event is actually metaphor. Now let's get right into it. So the source of this information is actually Felipe on Twitter, talking about metaphor and the fact that it's going to be a launch window game for Nintendo Switch 2. So it doesn't mean it's going to be day one, but launch window to me means, let's say Switch 2 is a June or July release. I expect metaphor on Switch 2 before the end of the year, before the end of 2025. That's where I'm at. So I think it's certainly possible. And if you don't know Necro Felipe, he is the owner of a big Brazilian news website for Nintendo called Universal Nintendo. They are a leaker who leaked a bunch of details about the Switch 2 that we found out earlier today that they are accurate, which is kind of why I decided to report on this rumor, because again, nothing's confirmed, it's a rumor. It's looking really, really cool. So he's basically saying, hey, metaphor, launch window game, Switch 2. I believe it 100%, not just because of this leaker's reliability, but for a bunch of other reasons. Let me get straight into it. Sega, they want to aggressively pursue multi-platform and global releases for their games, because when they started to push that around 2020, they started to see a bunch of success with IPs like Yakuza, Like a Dragon when it comes to the Sega side of things, but of course with Persona, SMT and everything in the West specifically with their global launches, it's doing really good both on the Sega and Atlus side of things. Very exciting stuff. Atlus was present at the Nintendo Switch reveal event in January of 2017, 8 years ago at this point, and they showed up with a brand new exclusive Shin Megami Tensei 5. That was there on day 0 for the original Nintendo Switch. Atlus was there day 0. I think it's going to be the same thing here today. Before the system launch, I think we're going to see the announcement of an Atlus title dropping on the platform. Massive support from Atlus on Nintendo Switch is another of my reasons for metaphor being on Switch 2. I mean, every Atlus IP at this point is on Nintendo, other than maybe Devil Summoner and more niche stuff. We have Persona, we have Shin Megami Tensei, we have Catherine, we have Persona, of course, and now we're going to have metaphor, so it just makes all the sense in the world to me that they are going to show up with more support, and of course with a port of their big and successful metaphor ReFantazio. That's a reason in and of itself. Metaphor, critically acclaimed. It's gonna do well if they put it on Nintendo Switch. It was not on the original Switch. If it's on Switch 2 near launch, it's definitely going to be a big success. 94 on Metacritic, Game of the Year nominee for 2024, Game RPG of the Year winner. I mean, it's a sure hit on Switch 2. And again, another reason why I expect it. Other than that, when it comes to Nintendo specifically, Nintendo has a lot of partners. They talked in their latest financial report that they have partners that are ready to back the Nintendo Switch and their future plans. They're ready to work with Nintendo in the future. And here's the slide. I mean, they showed their investors. Here are our partners. Sega, Atlus are on the list. Another reason. It's just another reason. And potentially one of the biggest reasons is Studio Zero and Metaphor ReFantazio director, legend at Atlus, Mr. Katsura Hishino, he was interviewed a few weeks or a few months back already, I think, after Metaphor launched. I reported on that on the channel. He wants a sequel. He wants Metaphor to be this third pillar that Atlus is looking for to stand alongside Persona and the SMT IP. And looking at the fans' reception, the critical reception, and the sales performance of Metaphor, I think it's already decided that they're going to do something else with Metaphor. And if you want to drop a Metaphor 2 at some point, you want as many people to have played your previous game, your first game in that franchise, and the best way to do that is to make it as available as possible. They already did a fantastic job. Metaphor is playable everywhere but on Switch. I think the Switch 2 is probably the reason why, or at least one of the reasons why, because when Metaphor started full-scale development, that was in 2019, the Switch was already very popular, I assume due to hardware limitations and the fact that, hey, there's obviously going to be a successor at some point. The game is not near release at all. That was back in 2019 when it started. Let's say we drop in 2024, is the Switch still going to be relevant? Plus all the effort that we have to put into porting Metaphor on that platform, might as well wait for the next system. Here we are. I mean, Metaphor, as things are looking now, Metaphor on Nintendo Switch 2, when it drops, Metaphor ReFantazio, the game itself is not even going to be a year old, or it's going to be around a year old. So people are going to tune in. I am going to double dip simply for the fact that I want Atlus to support Switch 2 like they supported Switch 1. Think about it, y'all, for 1 second. I have a whole ass shelf. On my shelf, there's one of the top row on the middle shelf. Those are Atlus Switch games. Persona 5 Strikers, Persona 5 Tactica, Persona 5 Royal, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, Catherine Full Body, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD, SMT5, SMT5 Vengeance. I can keep going. Tokyo Mirage Session, Sharp FE. So many games are on the platform. The Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection is only on Switch when it comes to consoles. Atlus was successful with Nintendo Switch. Atlus is going to be successful with Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm so excited to report this rumor and all that information that it really is looking like Metaphor is going to be on Switch 2. I hope you guys are excited as I am. Drop a comment and let me know, do you expect Metaphor to show up on Switch 2? Do you expect Metaphor to show up at the Nintendo Direct focused on Switch 2 April 2nd? Don't forget to ring that notification bell if you want to tune in, because I will be streaming that for sure. Plus, I can confirm that I will be streaming the Xbox Showcase next week, which, if you watch my latest video, there's a chance. Persona 6. There is a chance. Hey, you have a good day, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.